Yo, so hello guys. Long time no see, I guess. I mean, not technically, it's been like 2 years. But I'm going to be trying out this game called Sudoku or Sudoku. Yeah, pronunciation is not my strong suit. But basically how to play it is so you have this huge square which is 9 by 9, and it's comprised of 9 constituent 3 by 3 squares, and you have to fill in every single row and every single column and every single smaller square until it has each of the numbers from 1 to 9. So like each of these 3 by 3 squares has to have each of the numbers from 1 to 9 exactly once, and also every row and every column. And I chose medium difficulty, and I was actually just introduced to this game like day before yesterday, so I'm not particularly good at it. I'm like a beginner. But yeah, so I'll try to do this one. And so one strategy that I have is I look at like numbers that appear frequently in a lot of the squares, and then I try to like see where they can go in squares that they're not already inside. So for instance, the number 1 is already in like, let's see, it's in 6 squares. And so just looking at this, I already know that the number 1 is in here. And I know this because like this row can only have number 1 appear once, and number 1's already here, so therefore it can't be here, and it can only appear in this like 3 by 3 square once, so it can't be here. It also can't be here because 1's in this row, which means that it has to be here. And so let's see where else we can put the number 1. And I believe there's also, you can put number 1 here. And as you can see here, it says mistake 0 out of 3, which means that that's correct. And again, I basically use the same strategy. So it can only appear once per row. And this row already has 1. This row already has 1. So it has to be somewhere in this row. And it has to appear at least once in each box, or actually exactly once in each box. And it can't appear here because this column already has 1, and it can't appear here because 3 is already here. So it has to appear here. And so now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 number 1s. So this box is the only one which doesn't have number 1. And we know that it can't be in this row in these 3 boxes because there's already number 1 here in this row. Same thing for these 3 boxes, so it has to be in either one of these 2 boxes. And we know it has to be in this box because this column already has number 1, and it can only appear once per column. This column also already has number 1. So yeah, now we have 9 number 1s, which means we already filled in all the number 1s that are going to be used. And I know this because there are 9 of these 3 by 3 boxes, and each number from 1 to 9 can only appear in each box exactly once. And we have 9, so yeah. Now let's try another number which appears frequently. So 2 only appears 3 times, so let's not use that. The number 3 appears 5 times, which isn't too frequently. 7 appears 4 times. 9 only appears 3 times. Let's see. Okay, number 4. So looking at this, we know that these 2 columns already have number 4. So for this box, 4 can either be here or here. But we don't currently have enough information to conclude which one it could be in. And yeah, so just looking at this grid, I think the best approach to currently is maybe we could try to finish either one of these 2 rows because they're already almost complete. So like this one only has 2 out of 9 slots left, And since each row can only have each number from 1 to 9 exactly once, we know that the remaining numbers can either be 5 or 9 because it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and there's no 5 and there's no 9. So if this one's 5, then this one's 9, and if this one's 9, this one is 5, and this one is 5, and this one is 9. And the reason I know this is because this box already has a 9, so this can't be 9. This box already has a 5, so this can't be 5. And yeah, so this row's over with, which leaves us with this row. And looks like we have 2 or 7. So this box can either be 2 or 7. But again, using the same trick I just now used, this one's 2, so this has to be 7. And this one's 7, so this has to be 2. And yeah, so we finish this row. And I think now we can finish this box since there's already 7 spots that are taken. And if we look up here, I still have 0 mistakes made, so that's how I know that I'm on the right track. Okay, so we're missing 6 and 8. So 6 and 8, but I don't know which is which. And we don't really have a lot of information to go off of, so I can't yet tell for sure. Okay, and moving on to this box, we have 2, 4, or 7. And actually, I know that this one's 7. And so how do I know this? So this one could be 2, 4, 7. This one could be 2, 4, 7, or this one could be 2, 4, or 7. So one of these three has to be 7 because this box has to have 7 appear once. But both of these columns, like this column and this column, they both already have 7. So 7 has to be in this column in this box. So that's how I know that 7 goes here. And so now one of these is 2 and one of these is 4. And based on my current assessment, we can't yet conclude which is which. Okay, and let's see. Hmm. Okay, yeah. Now I'm just trying to figure out like what approach to take next. So we have made some initial progress, but I don't know if that's enough. So we know that one of these has to be 2 and the other has to be 4. And for this one, we know that one of these is 6 and the other one is 8. So let's see. Yeah. Okay. And we know that. So from looking at here, these two rows already have 7. So 7 has to be in one of these three, but 7's already in this column. So we know that 7 has to be in either one of these two boxes. Let's see. Okay, so if 7 is here, then 7 has to be here. But if 7 is here, then 7 has to be here, but it can't be here because this is already 7. So I think this box is 7. Okay, yeah, that's correct because as you can see, I'm still at 0 mistakes. So my reasoning worked out. And if this is 7 and this is also 7, that means that the 7 in this box here has to be in this column. And this column only has one slot left in this box. So this is 7. And yeah, that turned out to be correct. Okay, let's see. Wow, okay, so we have all the sevens except for the seven in this box, I think. Yeah, and okay, so this row already has a seven. This row already has a seven. So seven has to be in one of these three boxes. But this column already has a seven, and so does this column. So this box has to have the seven. Great. Okay. Whew, okay. Let's see. So yeah, that strategy turned out to be effective. So now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 sevens, which is exactly what we need to fill all the boxes with at least one or with exactly one seven. So that means we used up all the ones and all the sevens that we're gonna need. So now we can look at other numbers. For instance, 2, there's only 4 twos. And because these two rows already have twos, we know that one of these two slots has to have 2. Yeah, okay. And actually, there's a hint button. Let me see if this has anything. Pay attention to these cells and the highlighted areas. Okay. In this block, there's only one cell that can contain 3. Oh wow, okay, they did it for me. But yeah, I can see. So there's 3 in this column, which means that this one can't be 3, this one can't be 3, but there's already a 3 in this row, so these 3 can't be 3. So this one has to be 3. And yeah, apparently they automatically do it for you. So that's interesting. Okay, so I guess maybe we could try to finish this column. So this column has 3, 1, 7, 4, 2, 9, which means that it's missing 5, 6, and 8. And there's already a 5 in this box. So this one has to be either 6 or 8. And unfortunately, looks like we don't have enough information to go off of to say which one is which. Okay, I'm just gonna stop yapping. I'm gonna just try to think this through, and if I do find another number to put inside like a box, then I'll explain how I got there. Oh wait, okay, this is a 3. And I noticed because so we just now placed, or the game just now placed a 3 over here. So this row can't have 3, but there's a 3 in this column, there's a 3 in this column. So that leaves out just this one box in the bottom right corner of this 3x3 box. So this is a 3. And let's see, so that gives us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 threes. So that means that we only need 2 more threes. Okay. One, two. Five. Oh, actually, and this is a 5. And again, you can tell because this column already has a 5 here, so this can't be a 5. This column already has a 5, so these two can't be 5s. And this row already has a 5 here, so this one can't be 5, so this is 5. Yeah. And sorry. And yeah, so I guess we can also try to solve this column since there's only 2 empty boxes. So we have 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 4, 3. So we're missing 8 and 9. And unfortunately, there's no 8 and 9 in these boxes, so we can't really deduce which is which yet. So all we know is that one of these boxes is an 8 and the other one is 9. And there's a 4 here. Let's see, one of these 3 has to be 4. Um, okay, actually, what's this? I'll just turn it off because I have no idea what this thing does. Let's get another hint. Pay attention to these cells in the highlighted areas. Okay. In this block, there is only one cell remaining that can contain 4. Huh? Oh. Yeah, I guess it's right. So these two columns already have 4, so... And for this box, these two are already occupied, so... Yeah, 4 has to go here. Uh... Hmm. And, I'll just use up the last hint now. Pay attention to these cells in the highlighted areas. Oh, okay, yeah. So there has to be a 9 here. And that's probably what it's gonna say. Yep. Okay, so I used up all the hints now. Well, I have to watch an ad to get another hint, but I don't want to do that. So we can finish this row actually, because just already all the numbers except 1, and this is gonna be 8. And we can now finish this column, which is gonna give us 9. And we can finish this box with 2. And we can finish this column with 9. And yeah, it's just pretty satisfying when it comes together like that. But we still have 3 more boxes for this. So we have 2, 3, and 8. Well, this has to be either 3 or 8 because this already has 2. And this has to be either 2 or 8 because this already has 3. But, yeah. Unfortunately, we can't say for sure where each number goes yet. Um, well, at least let's see if we can finish this box. So for this one, we need 6 or 8. Yeah, we don't have enough information yet. And for this one, we need 2 or 4. Okay, I have to watch an ad if I want to get another hint, but I don't want to rely too much on the hints. So, okay, this box can, so this column has only 3 boxes left, and it can either be, I think, 4, 8, or 9. And this one can either be 4 or 8 because 9 is already in this row. And this one, oh, this one has to be 8 because there's already a 4 here and there's a 9 here. And this one already has a 9. But the 8's already used, so this one has to be a 4, which means then that this one has to be 9. Yay. Okay, let's see. We can try finishing up this box maybe. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need a 5 and we need an 8. So one of these is um definitely a 5 and the other is an 8. But because one of these has to be an 8, we know that there's an 8 in this row, and there's already an 8 in this row, which means that an 8 can either be here or here, but there's already an 8 in this column, so we know that this one has to be an 8. And, um, oh, okay, where was I? Oh yeah, so this can either be a 5 or an 8. If this is a 5, this is an 8, and vice versa. And we can't yet conclude which one has which, I think, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. Let's see if we can. Maybe let's see if we can finish this box. So for this one we need a 2 and a 4. So one of these is 2 and the other one is 4. And then for this one we need a 6 or an 8. 6 or 8. We know that one of these is 5, one of these is 8. So whichever one is 8 means that the other column here is also an 8 because we can't have two 8s in the same column. Okay. Yeah, not gonna lie, I'm kind of stuck. So let's see. Maybe we can look at this row. Um, so we need a 2, 3, and a 6. This one can either be 2 or 3 because there's already 6 in this column. This one has to be either 3 or 6. And this one has to be either 2 or 6. So let's see, 2 or 3. Uh, actually, this one is 9. And I know that because this column already has a 9 here. This column already has a 9. So for this box, it has to be one of these 3. But this row already has a 9. And this row already has a 9. So the center one has to be 9. So this is a 9. And let's see. So if we try to complete this box, we can use 5, 6, or 8. And well, this one can't be a 6 because there's a 6 here. And this one can't be. Wait, no, why did I say 5, 6, or 8? There's already an 8 here. So this has to be 5, 6, or 1, 2, 3. Oh, 5, 6, or 3. So each of these boxes can either be 5, 6, or 3. But this one has to be a 5 because this one already has 6, this one already has 3. So now each of these is either 6 or 3. But this one has to be a 6 because there's already a 3 in this column here. Which means then this one has to be a 3. Since there's already a 3 in this column. And there's also already a 3 in this column. So yeah, that's a 3. Oh, and also this has to be a 3. Wait. Okay, never mind, I made a mistake. That was an exceptionally stupid move. How do I erase this? Oh, okay. I don't know why I didn't see that 3 over there. That was already there, but yeah, that was pretty embarrassing. Okay, actually, no, this is a 6 because this row already has a 6, this row already has a 6, and this is the only slot left for this, like these 3 boxes. So that's a 6. And that also means that this is a 6 because this column is taken, this column is taken. So this one can't be a 6, so this one has to be a 6, which means that this one's an 8. Yeah, okay, so, and we can also finish this column by the process of elimination. So this has to be 5. And we can finish this box, which is 8, And I think we can also finish up this box since these two on the same row are complete. So we just have to look for what numbers this one is missing. And it's missing a 2, a 6, and a 4. So there's already a 6 in this row and this row. So we know one of these two has to be a 6. There's also a 6 in this column, which means that this one has to be a 6. And then there's a 2 in this row, a 2 in this row. So this one can't be 2, so this one has to be 2. And the only one left is 4. Oh, and we can also finish this row, which is missing a 2. And we can see if we can finish this column. And this column is missing a 3, a 3 and an 8. And unfortunately, we can't say which one is which yet. So yeah, that sucks. But we could try to finish this column. So this column is missing 2 slots, and it's missing a 2. It's missing a 2 and I think a 5. So a 2 or a 5. But this row already has a 2, so this one can't be 2, so this one has to be 5. Which means then that this one has to be 2. And there's only one slot left, which is a 4. Okay, we're almost done. We have literally just 5 boxes. So 1, 3, 7, 9, 6, 5, 4. So we're missing a 2 and an 8. And this one can't be 2 because there's already 2 in the same row, so this one has to be 8. And this one has to be 2. And this one has to be 4. And this one has to be 3, I think. And finally, after 33 minutes and like 15 seconds, this one has to be 8. And yeah, so
the dream was to build a sustainable chocolate company.
And with Chase for Business, it's become way bigger than just chocolate.
Get financial guidance from bankers in your community and